What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the same. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. We have Anatoliy Labinskiy of Goldstream Media. And Anatoliy, before I formally introduce you, I always like to point out other episodes people should check out of the podcast. We had Chris Martinez, founder of Dude, and he helps agencies scale by providing web development services. Chris Madden talked about NFTs, the metaverse, and advertising. I'm new to the NFT space, so I really pressed him on the questions of what he did with his agency and how he's used NFTs in his agency. It was pretty interesting. And how to make your website visitors do what you want with Martin Greif, the president of Site Tuners. And he actually did some full site breakdowns on the episode. So watch that one and make sure you watch the video. This episode is brought to you by Rise25. At Rise25, we help businesses give to their dream 100 relationships and partnerships. And how do we do that? We help you run your podcast. We do strategy, accountability, and execution for your podcast, so it makes sense for your business. And for me, Anatoliy, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. I found no better way to do that than the profile of the people and companies I most admire on this planet over the past decade, and share with the world what they're working on. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should. If you have questions, go to rise25.com. I'm excited to introduce Anatoliy Labinskiy. He's founder of Goldstream Media. And Goldstream Media is an e-commerce growth agency which helps to generate 6- and 7-figure results for their clients. In less than 5 years, he went from a simple waiter to a successful business owner. And one thing that we'll talk a little bit about, which he gives away some of his secrets, which is kind of interesting. He has a Steal My Ad PDF book, and he'll share where you can actually grab that. But he shares his formulas, his ad templates, so that you can plug and play their winning ads. So Anatoliy, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Jeremy, I appreciate it for inviting me on this beautiful podcast. And I'm really excited to share as much value as I can to your audience. And hopefully it will be workable for some of them.
Let's start with the Steal My Ad. So why share some of your formulas? Because sometimes people keep those close to their chest.
First of all, the rule of my life, we are in the service business, and share as much as you can, more than people asking, and you will succeed. I mean, you will never have problems with the clients. You'll never have problems with the business success if you're going to be just sharing. And that's actually what created my mentor for me in my mind when I was just starting back in 2017. So, and that kind of Steal My Ad PDF, it's really so many people don't understand the value of it. That kind of ad copy structure, that kind of structure allowed us to make over 8 figures, which is over 10 million. So far, it's over 14 millions in the client's results, just by using the simple template, which gives us perfect approach of the avatar which we are looking for. So that's why, if you guys in e-commerce, just go and download that. That's for sure is going to be valuable for you.
So what are some examples that are in there?
So there is the ad copies, actually not, there is a structure of the copies, which is how you have to use the copy, what is exactly acceptability of your offer, how do you have to show to people that they are going to be saving time on this offer, what kind of value you have to put in, what kind of line. So exactly step by step, the structure, the skeleton of your ad copy, putting the value in, reducing the time cost or cost on the financial part, and everything of that. There is a perfect formula which you just combining all together with the examples and building out for your particular industry your perfect ad formula, and start testing out 3 to 5 different ad copies. You test it out on the testing campaigns, and for sure you can find the winning one. You just need to use the formula and edit your own sentences in.
Where can people check that out, just so we can point them to it?
Yeah, perfect. Like it could be find it on our website, goldenstreammedia.com, and there is gonna be the line our packages, and in the bottom is gonna be the PDF Steal My Ad, which you can download it by using the code from the podcast.
You know, what's interesting about interviewing successful people, it looks on the surface like it was an overnight success, but we know it takes years and years and years and sometimes decades before we hit that. And this has kind of been true with your journey as well. And even with your client's journey, it's not always you hit it right out of the gate. And you're like, oh, now all the ads are running on full tilt. You know, you're being successful with the campaigns. It takes a little time to tweak it. There was a point in your career that you were putting stuff on credit cards and it wasn't working. Take me back to that time period.
Oh, I don't want to go too far, but yes, actually, whole journey is all about fail, to be honest. Like it's not there will for sure not overnight success, and there is for sure like nothing like I woke up and start making results. I back in 2017, my wife said to me that she's pregnant, and I was completely broke. We were renting the simple master bedroom in the Filipino couple apartments, just a simple master bedroom. So we didn't have even our own apartments. And I understood that if she is pregnant and we were living in Dubai at that moment, she will lose her job and she will lose the insurance. And it means we won't be able to cover even apartments because we have to work together to be able to pay for all the bills. And I just like went to the pharmacy to buy another test and to double check everything. And I just stuck plus 35 degrees, February 2017. And I like stuck and promised to myself that I will make things opposite. When my baby will come in this world, I will not allow him to go through what I'm going now. And that's where journey started. Like I started searching online for different things, what can make me money. And in the past I was a waiter. In that particular moment I was already working in construction company as a salesperson because I love sales, I'm good in sales, and I was just like try finally get the job in the industry, and but didn't get paid well because I just got first job what was offered. And I started searching how I can make money online. And in August in 2017, when my wife already went to Ukraine because we had no choice, I sent her to Ukraine and stayed in Dubai by myself. I moved to the apartments with 7 other guys in 2-bedroom apartments. We were like sharing the beds in the same rooms. And I started searching what could be working. And in August 2017, I found out what is e-commerce. It's insane. For me, it was just like aha moment. I'm calling that, I'm going to be repeating that words again and again. Aha moment, which is I found before it was doesn't matter what I'm going to be doing. I just want to make it money, nothing else. I'm going to be doing whatever it's needed. But when I read what is e-commerce, what is all about Facebook advertising itself, I like, whoa, I want to figure it out how that works. Yeah, I just like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will make it work. And from that particular moment, failure started. I launched my first store. It was mykittycatzone.com. It was like a cat store, drop shipping model. And I lost everything what I had from the part-time jobs which I have, from my main job, all the savings I lost. My baby is about to come in October, September, October. I like testing as hell everything, and nothing wasn't working out just because I wasn't following one simple strategy. I didn't follow the KPIs. I didn't know what is KPIs on the advertising, and actually that was my fail and my fault that I didn't follow the simple steps. So basically, it was continue happening till the middle of January 2018, where I found a mentor. Like I already had no money on behind, and I already owed some money to people, like because like I wasn't able to run ads anymore. But I was like taking money from other parts, working more on part times, didn't sleep, and like just like invested, and promised to myself that I'm gonna be make it happen. My wife said, I will divorce on you if you will not stop it. I was addicted. My eyes were like crazy. Like I had a black like around my eyes. I was like yellow, having a yellow face because I was sleeping up to 3 hours a day. Up to 3 hours a day. Seriously, 2 nights in a year, I slept 40 minutes a day. That was the hell. I don't recommend anyone that, but I was like working on 5 different jobs, 4 part-times, 1 main job, and plus I was studying e-commerce and advertising. So basically in January, I found out Mentor. I decided to give a try on the last money. It was only $47 a month for the group coaching where he will analyze my ads during the call. And that was just like, oh, this is what should I do? Like first almost 5 months, I was wasting money without even understanding the KPIs. It's strange. So it was just newbies mistakes. And I just used to do what he said and made my first $8,000 in the 15 days of working together in the group coaching. And this is where really officially story began with the e-commerce results.
You know, your wife comes to you and says that to you. What do you say back?
I said, oh, it was several times this kind of conversation. But I said to her every single time, I know how it looks. I know, I completely understand you, but I won't quit. This is something what is gonna work. It's never nobody sharing their experience in life. Nobody like you asked me in the beginning of the podcast about the sharing. I said, no, people are sharing for free. They just saying like you just need to ask questions. Facebook groups, that moment it was super like trendy Facebook groups. I was started asking questions from the right people. And like, no, it's a scam. And if you won't stop it, I will divorce on you. I said, whatever you're saying now, I understand it's not serious. But if you're serious, I will accept it. But I have to let you know, I'm doing that for you and for our son. So sorry, be patient. And that was like always the answer. But sometimes it was harder. But I was trying to convince.
So it started with My Kitty Cat store. But
My kitty cat zone, yeah.
But eventually you kind of had success in shoes and fashion, health and beauty. Talk about the health and beauty. You had some pain relief type products.
It's actually one of my favorite store in terms of the product, in terms of the results, because we were one of the first who found that kind of product on the market, and we didn't have the competition yet. And we had, so by that being said, we had possibilities to scale before everyone else would be jumping on that kind of product. So basically, it is the pain relief belt, which is you just holding on your back, and there is a kind of pressure pump, which is you just pressing, and the air is coming into this belt, and it's fixing your back. So if you have a back problems, pain, especially for the guys who are going to the gym or working on the construction site, it was like perfect avatar, our audience, like 35 plus, they usually have the problem with the back pain. And this is a perfect pain relief when you press in the air in. It's fixing your spine and like the stretching the spine. So the pressure on the spine is not that kind of hard as it was before because of the belt fixing the back. And we had such a beautiful and great feedbacks from the clients that the product quality was really awesome. And we start actually branding it. We start working on the scalability and as well understanding how to white labeling, not white labeling, how to make the branded look that store. And it happened exactly before the COVID, when we were start scaling, and we were able to scale that store to 600K in matter of 3.5 months, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And actually in January, we were able to make close to over 500,000 in one single month. But we start having the problems with the supplier because of the COVID. COVID happens, and there is a lot of things where we fail on that moment. And we just like hold it for the period of the COVID. And it was like kind of struggle, but it's fine. I mean, we will manage that. It takes a lot of time, but we managed it. But it was really biggest scale and easiest scale ever because of great product with the perfect audience research, which we have made, and upsells.
What was working with that? You were doing advertising for those products too?
Everything had like, I had the partner who was always taking care of the stores, and I was taking care of the ads. Actually, like before agency become exist on my end, it was that way because I'm the guy on the ads. I was like hustling for that. I was failing a lot, and I understand how everything is working, and just like give me the product, let me scale, you know. And I had to manage the store, especially English is not my native speaking language. So I'm basically Ukrainian, and I'm speaking Ukrainian, Russian, and English. And for me, it was like for American market more problematic to write the perfect native sounds description on the product page. So my partner was taking care of that, customer service and customer service as well. Under my guidance, he was taking care because I'm great in customer service and good in sales. So I know how to speak to them to avoid any kind of disputes, chargebacks. This is what we as well implementing in the agency side right now to like making perfect customer service to avoid any kind of issues, or when issue is happening, how to solve that issue.
What was working from the ad perspective with that type of product?
Do you mean angle or algorithm wise?
Yeah, angle. What you were doing?
I will tell you, like, it was super simple. Like, we didn't, that moment when we just jump it, we didn't know who is our audience. We just like before starting making the research, we just dive in because I have seen, first of all, it's amazing usage of this product. I mean, this product could be used. I mean, it's super helpful. Looks ugly. The product looks ugly. And I was like, oh my God, who gonna like buy such kind of ugly product? But the usage of the product itself, it's amazing. Like really, it's relieving the pain in the back. So, and I was thinking, okay, how I'm going to be advertising? I was looking on the different ad copies of the competitors on the similar niches, but in the simple product page of the AliExpress where I found this product, there was a picture with the same product and the simple headline where I was saying that this is a perfect belt, which is pain relief for your back. Especially, it's great for the sportsmen and something like that. It was a simple sentence of the 12 words. Usually I'm making, so to clarify, usually I'm making like kind of points in the ad copy. Usually we are looking on the storytelling, which is now on still my ad formula. We implementing the storytelling where we are adding value, cost relief, and all the things. But in that time, I just decided to add a simple sentence from that kind of poster. And that was the golden mine because it's short, it's sharp, and people were really like, has no other questions to ask because it was exactly into the point. And they were diving into the store, and we have like in average 5 ROS from every single sale. And our prices was much higher later on than the competitors when they come on the market. Our higher prices everywhere was $64.99, $74.99. Our prices was all the time $99.99. And the cost was 33. And in the same time, like we were doing upsells as well, which is our average ticket, average order value was $120 on the store, which is like give us high profitability, huge return on ad spend, and a lot big room for testing.
Love it. You want to talk about some of the challenges because I mean, you mentioned you're from the Ukraine. Obviously, there's a lot of chaos, to say the least. And so I want to talk about your experience with that. But before we do, because, people think in their business they have challenges, as a country and as a people, it goes way beyond challenges of a business. And you have to manage the business and staff when you have a lot of staff in the Ukraine as well. So before we get to that, though, you mentioned yours, like it took a lot of testing and mentorship. But some of the campaigns you've worked with, it doesn't go right away. There was one that struggled for 7 months before you saw the results. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's actually a perfect question regarding that. I'm gonna be just said it now, and basically yes, about Ukraine, what you said at the beginning, that we have mostly Ukrainian staff because I'm Ukrainian based, and the war has been started in February. It was the horrible time, and nobody was expected. But that story I can share for almost 2 hours because there was incredible things was happening about the explosions, about the bombs and shellings around. But I guess like we're gonna be avoid that part, but that was a huge challenge for us as an agency, as a company, as a human being, to like survive and still staying strong as a company. And we find out that all our team members are real people, because in this kind of situations you can find out who is like in human beings, who is who. And when everything started, instead of just like tell to everyone fuck off, sorry for this kind of word, but it is like that moment there are no other words could be, but they were all online, they were all supporting each other, like all 40 people in that moment, 40 plus people, we were just like cooperating, like, hey, what can we do, what can we help each other. So like I just like pointing out that the war is the most horrible thing which I have seen in my life, and I was lucky to cross the border on the, let's say, on the last spot, which was already almost not possible to do, but I have done that officially in the way of just like using all my entrepreneurship skills and sales skills to convince them, let me go. And it's a long story, as I said, but long story short, I have done that, and my team is safe now, and still most of them in Ukraine, and we're just waiting when everything will finish.
What were the biggest challenges for the team during that time period? I mean, because I know friends who they have team, maybe a large part of their team in Ukraine, some didn't have power, they had to move. I mean, just stuff that how do you even do work when that stuff is happening?
That's a great question, because it happened like when winter season started. Like before, it was bombarding as hell, like during the summer and September. My city, my home city, where I'm basically from Kyiv, but originally my parents, I grew up in the Zaporozhye city, the region next to the occupied territory, and there was bombarded all summer. Like there was up to 20-40 bombs a day in the single city. And next to my city, it was 200 bombs a day. I don't know how much money they were spending on this stuff, but it's just insane. It's insane what is happening there. And the thing is that winter season started, and really they start explode the electricity stations. And now in my country there is electricity time to time, like 4-6 hours, every 6 hours they turn on for 4 hours, to turn on to 2 hours, and some of the regions are struggling, even has nothing, even heaters. There is -2 right now, and there is no heaters, nothing, everything is off. So it's incredible. But how we managing that? Obviously, when everything started with the electricity, we directly start guiding our team what they have to do. There is like generators, there is a different kind of tools which you can use, or by diesel, or by filling the diesel, or the best one is on the batteries. So like it's a struggle now to find it, but at the beginning it was easier to get it. So the guys now just installed everything what they needed. Some of them even used the Elon Musk's internet Starlink just to place it in their houses, and plus these kind of generators be able to be online, because otherwise, like all the Ukraine, to be honest, we have so many IT marketing arbitrage people in Ukraine who just like had to be flexible and bought all that stuff, installed at home, and even like apartments in the 15th floor, they still have generators, huge one, loud one, but working. I mean, all of them online and doing whatever is needed, because there is no other chance.
How do you communicate with your clients during this time? Obviously, they know you're in the Ukraine, and obviously they, people in general are probably just worried about your safety and your team's safety, but they also want to feel confident, like, hey, do we continue to work with you? Because can you still fulfill what you're talking about? How did you communicate to your clients what was going on and instill some type of, security that you're going to keep working on their projects?
So when everything started, when like first days, I was thinking that like we're gonna be really screwed up with the clients, and I was just hoping that they would understand, and even if they will leave us, so it will be at least soft leaving, because before we had no problems with them. But surprisingly, as I was mentioning about my team, all of them were in the basements, but with the laptops and the phones, and was working. For me, it, like, even now, I'm just speaking about that, I'm shaking, because I remember those feelings. I was shocked that how come, like, when you have to think about your relatives, about your kids, but most of the team is young. I mean, no kids, no wives, but still, like, how, when you have to think about yourself, how you can work, how you can do that. And the answer was simple, which quite shocked me, but it has a logic. If I will be close my laptop and will be start and just stop focusing on work, I will see what's happening around, and that will be make me crazy. And they said, better I will be completely focusing on work 24/7 than gonna be looking what's happening around. And that was like, wow, like for us, we
It
were
was a
quite
huge
shocked.
distraction for them to just keep their mind off what was going on, the reality.
So that's why, like, I came back when everything started. That first week, we were really appreciating to clients that they were patient, and they were actually saying, like, no worries, like, let's take a pause. We know, like, buyers, our media buyers said, no, it's fine. But they were like, most of them were saying that completely everything's great. And some of them even didn't recognize what's happening, even though, like, we don't take this subject up to, because it's not about that. We are in the business part, so they are thinking about their business. But some of them even didn't recognize what happened, because, like, they didn't even notice that like something happening in Ukraine, or like that media buyer is from Ukraine. But the main thing, because my company is United States based, but I'm originally from Ukraine, and were living in Ukraine before the war, and that's why there is most of the stuff were there. So I will answer on your question that there is distractions. There was affected couple of the media buyers which we filled, and we support them. So one of them is not a part anymore of the company, because everyone else were flexible to manage. But he just started disappearing, and completely in matter of 2.5 months after the war, we decided that we have to say him goodbye. But everyone else, understanding they need the job, understanding that it's what they were doing before, and it's the best way how to live at the moment. And like, when electricity problem started, they fixed everything in a matter of 2 weeks. So in October, most of them were already with this kind of tools, with the internet, and from that moment, we have no problem in terms of being online.
First of all, I'm grateful you and your team is safe. And let's talk a little bit about there was a company that you brought on, and there was 7 months where it struggled, and then you kind of hit a point inflection point where you had started having successes.
Yeah, that's exactly the subject, which is one of my favorite, because it was one of the hardest clients which I ever had. I mean, not clients, the problems in terms of time and results. So when she joined us, it was like end of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, no, end of 2018. There was zero results in the store. Store was losing money, and she was on the business already for 3 years. So for 3 years, still were losing money, having some sales, and again losing money. So, and it is not a dropshipping business. This is a brand. And when she came to us, we start testing out several creatives, several different things which was working for us at that moment. And there was sales. We start making her results, but there was no significant growth, and especially profitability problems exist as well. So for the first 7 months, we were able to scale only like $200 to $100,000 in revenue with the almost break even. So that's definitely not the way to go. So we tested different approaches, and what was surprising me, she was staying with us. She was paying for our services. She was like being patient. And I was telling her, when we have the meetings, I like, hey, I really appreciate that you're patient. You see that what we are doing, we are trying to find out what's going to be working for you. But still, we were doing better results than she does in the last 3 years. And she said, like, listen, I'm in 3 years in the market, And what you're doing, guys, I know that we are struggling, but I see that you are real, that you are trying to bring my brand somewhere, and you doing these kind of approaches from your end, and your suggestions always bring us somewhere. So I'm with you guys. I was like, wow, it's first time in my life, feedback from someone like that. And like, okay, appreciate it. So in matter of 7 months, it was, she joined us March, because we, in 7 months, October, beginning of October, we finding out the perfect creative which start working. We already find out the audiences, which was giving some sales, but creatives were dying off fast. And we found one amazing creative for her. It's a Canva store. So for her store, with the amazing Canva for the lovely couples, it's about family canvas for the, I would say, more emotional products, perfect for Valentine's Day, perfect for Mother's Day product, like that. And we find out a perfect creative, and it started giving us kind of consistency. And in a matter of months, we jumped from 0 sales in that particular creatives to $27,000 a day sales. So in matter of like Black Friday, we were like on 27,000 revenue, profitable revenues, and that started working like wow. And it took us 7 months to get to that level. And especially that's a benefit that it's a brand, not a dropshipping store. So results are more consistent. And if you're owning the brand, I'm just speaking to your audience, if you have owning the brand and just has problems to scale, you just didn't find out that perfect algorithm and creative, and there may be a media buyer who gonna be managing that for you. And that's exactly like why people are stuck on one level or giving up because of lack of time to study the skills and implement it, or because of lack of skills, or maybe both. So because of that, people are just stuck on 20K a month, 100K a month, instead of moving to multiple their results. So basically 27K a day. After that, we go a bit slower, 10, 12K a day, and we made 3.5 millions in matter of, like, it was a bit more than 1 year. And it was just insane growth. And at the same time, we had only a couple of clients except her, and plus my stores, and my stores were as well growing. And it was just like insanely win for me, I would say. So it was end of 2019 when we've been already on 3.5K or 3.5 million with her. So story short, right now she's over 7 millions. And I really appreciate still, I never had a client who would believe on us such hard and won't quit and would stay and be patient. Because the number one struggle in e-commerce, in the online business, is when you are doing something on your end as an agency, as a owner of the agency, as a manager, so everyone's doing something to implement, to make the changes for the business of the client don't see that. So it's invisible, and they see just that money for the advertising found from the cards are leaving. I mean, charging because we advertise something there. So it's really hard for the person to be patient, to be understanding the process and feeling that, okay, the guys are doing it. And that's why I still appreciate her a lot for everything what she went through with us.
Anatoliy, I just want to be the first one to thank you. Thanks for sharing your journey and your story. There's so much to unpack here. Unfortunately, we have limited time, but I do want to encourage people to check out goldenstreammedia.com and learn more about Anatoliy and his company. Check out more episodes of InspiredInsider.com. And if you're thinking you have challenges in your business, Anatoliy, I'll just think of you when we think of real challenges in life and what goes on. So thanks for sharing your story, and thanks everyone.
Thank you, Jeremy, a lot. And I appreciate it. And hopefully, guys, you're going to be just implementing at least that kind of part of hustle, which is I was sharing with you, and believe in the process and believe in that you can do it and you can change what you have at the moment to the level where you want to be. Everything is possible and everything is manageable. So thank you so much, Jeremy, to invite me for your podcast.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. 100 grand.